Welcome to our international podcast, Below the Belt. Who vex lose, people who vex. And we are so happy that so many of you are joining us today. It's Sunday, guys, the 10th of April. Believe it or not, another Sunday, but we're moving forward. Pace and power, guys. I just wrapped up the Aubrey C. Norton statement on what's happening there at the Linden Utility Service Corp Society there, where it concerns electricity supply for the region and the takeover and the abuses that are happening there in Region 10 and Linden. In particular, we're going to be talking about some of that with German Figuera, with the MP, German Figuera, that is, MP Amanzo Walton Desir, and also Chairman of Region 10, Mr. Darren Adams, is going to be joining us himself. Boots on the ground, folks. We're backing down. Boots on the ground. And those lovely folks are going to be joining us in just a little bit. Share the damn live stream. Smash the emoji button. It's Sunday. We're fired up, guys. And we are ready to go at our end. And we hope that you guys are also, we hope that you guys are also ready to go. And we are ready as well. And really good to see you guys joining us. Really good to see you guys joining us. And we are gonna, get a few things out of the way, and then we're gonna be good to go, guys. We're gonna be good to go. We're gonna be joined by again, Jaron Adams, who is the Region 10 regional chairman, and we're gonna be joined also by German Figuera. He's the member of parliament out of that region, and then we're gonna be joined by Amanza Walton Desir, and Amanza uh, uh, grew up in Linden, emanates from that region. Yours truly as well. We all came out from Linden. Good things come from Linden. That's why I want you all know good things come out of Region 10. Full stop. Please and thank you. Good to see so many of you joining us. Kylo Tech and Golda, Eulalie. Good to see Sukchan Sudhari here with us, and Pauline. Um, Pauline Austin, and all you other great folks joining us this morning, guys. We'd have it no other way. We're so happy that all of you folks are here with us. We're so happy. Pace and power, power and pace. Guys, rock and come in, share the live stream, guys. We want to have a discussion about all things Region 10, all things Linden, especially what they're doing with this co-op society, the Linden Utilities Services Co-op Society. We're going to be talking about that, guys. We are going to be talking about that, and we're happy that you guys are here with us as well. Would have it no other way, guys. Would have it no other way. So glad that you guys are here with us. How are you guys doing at your end? What is the weather like? Pray tell, pray tell. Don't be stingy. Let us know what the weather is like from the national capital city of Georgetown in Guyana, where we broadcast this podcast from. It's looking good, folks. It's good weather outside. Will it change? Will it change? What is the possibility that it might change? Well, weather.com, is our favorite place to stop into to see what's happening outside. It says it's 28 degrees out our windows today, and it feels like 34. It feels like 28 to me. But it says a 10% chance it's going to rain. There's a 10% chance in Georgetown, the national capital city, Region 4, Georgetown, Guyana, where we broadcast our international podcast from. There's a 10% chance it's going to rain. 28 degrees outside, feels like 33. That's what's happening. That's what's happening weather-wise where we are, and we hope you have fine weather where you guys are joining us from. We hope that it's great weather where you guys are joining us from. Rock and come in, allow nothing to hold you back. Pace and power, boots on the ground. We ain't backing down, folks. Boots on the ground. We ain't backing down. That's what we're saying. That's what we know. That is what it shall be. That is what it shall be. Boots on the ground, and we're not backing down. Full stop. Well, you want to know? Well, you want to rock and come in. Come true. Come true. Come true. That's what we're telling y'all. Come true, man. Come true. Come true. Rock and came in. Rock and come in, guys. So glad to have you. So glad to have each and every one of you. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Folks, they're going to call a snap election. Snap election coming up. That's my prediction. That is my prediction. That's what's going to happen. Good to have each and every one of you guys, wherever you guys are joining us from. We are so glad that you guys are here with us. We'd have it no other way, guys. We are so, so very glad that you are here with us and we are here with you. We are happy. We're happy. Could not ask for more, folks. We could not ask for more. So happy that all of you fantastic folks are here with us. Rock and coming, rock and coming, rock and coming. Good to have you folks on board. All of you guys who are joining us. We would have it no other way. We're waiting for our guests to come through, but just want to run a couple of things by you as we are here. Y'all here, sir. We here, sir. Everybody here, sir. We happy, guys. We happy. We happy. We happy. If you're all happy, we happy. And that is how we're doing it. That's how we're doing it. That's that. So let us know if you're hearing us clearly. That's what we want to know. Guys, you're gonna let us know if you're hearing us clearly at your end. And that is what we desire to know if you guys are hearing us clearly. And let us know how things are. What are you guys having for lunch today as you prepare to head in to the issues that matter? Let us know what you guys are doing. How are things at your end? Mary Luke, good to see you there. We see you there, Mary Luke. We see you there. And we see also Carl Fordyce and Alicia Thomas. We see Donald David. We see also we have with us Christy Burrows here with us, guys. We see also uh, we have with us Melinda McKenzie. We see Orwin Don Cook is here with us. Andrew Cuthbert is here with us as well. We see Desiree Bob. Thanks for letting us know you're hearing us loud and clear. And Hazelyn King. Thanks to you two for letting us know that you're hearing us loud and clear. We have also Delnay Cadogan. Good to see you, Delnay. I noticed this Delnay is spelled differently from the other one. Good to have each and every one of us here with us, guys. Tamika Webster, Claire Capel, good to see you as well. Carlos, Malcolm, good to see you. Erwin Don Cook, Marlon Morgan, Deborah Clark, good to see you as well. Good to see each and every one of you who were here with us. Tamika Webster, Erwin Don. I see Claire Capel is here too. Good to see you, folks. Good to have you here, Claire. Alexis Chomley, Richmond. All the Claires are here. Oriana Lord is here. Oriana Lord, good to see you. Oriana says she's having some chicken chongmin from German restaurant here in New York. Good for you. Good for you. Wish I was having some of that. Wish I was having some of that, Oriana Lord. Good to see you, Oriana. And thanks for joining us. Bevon, good to see you as well. Great to have you aboard, Bevon. Great to have you on board. And we're seeing couple other folks joining us too. A couple of the other folks are joining us as well. And let me see who else we have here with us. Good to see so many of you lovely folks joining us today. It is our pleasure and it is our privilege to have each and every one of you guys. Really our pleasure and our privilege. Good to have you guys joining us. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you guys. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Happy that you guys are here. Would have it no other way, guys. Would have it no other way. I'm preparing to have my guests come on. So I want to just have another take of Aubrey Norton's statement. And then we're gonna begin our discussion about what's happening in Region 10 and more particularly what's happening in Linden. We're not taking any other calls today, folks. This is our subject matter, and we're gonna jump right into it. A couple interesting things in the newspaper. If we have some time after our discussion, we're going to pick up on some of those. But for the time being, let's take a listen to the statement by Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, leader of the PNCR. Today, Sunday, April 10th, 2022. We were holding for Mr. Norton to conclude the statement before we came on. That has been done. We out here, we there. Folks, let's take a listen to that statement, and then we're going to come right back with our lovely guests for today. We are going to be joined by the Region 10 chairman for the Regional Democratic Council out of Region 10, Mr. Darren Adams. And we're also going to be joined by German Figuera. We're going to be joined, a member of parliament, rather, German Figuera, and member of parliament, Amanzo Walton Desir. They're going to be joining us shortly. Take a listen to the statement as just put out by Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, leader of the PNCR. Here it is.
Constrained this afternoon to respond to Barack saying, I am a liar. I don't know why he wants to give away his crown as King Liar, but I think all Guyanese acknowledge that he's the most renowned liar in Guyana. In fact, he's a pathological liar. He suggested that I lied to the people of Linden. In addition, they placed Mr. Mark Phillips to read a prepared text which he picked corn right through and didn't make much sense, to suggest the same thing. I want to make a few points on this matter of the electricity co-op at Linden. First, we must recognize that it is not the first time Barajak lied about Linden. He said that he built Amelia's ward. Linden people know he didn't, and therefore they know he's a liar. The PPP government, having instructed the Guyana Police Force to murder 3 Lindeners, they lied and said they had nothing to do with it. So it should be well established that Barajak is a pathological liar. Let us turn to the facts in the issue. In the first case, no one is saying that the government of Guyana has no right on this matter. The first thing we are saying is this, that the law, the Co-op Act at Article 37.1 says the commissioner may, of his own motion, and shall, on the application of a majority of the committee, or of no less than 1/3 of the members of a registered society, hold an inquiry or direct same to hold an inquiry into the constitution, working, and financial conditions of a registered society. So the first thing that needs to be noted is that there should have been an inquiry. There was none. Minister Joe Hamilton clearly instructed the co-op officer to remove this co-op society without due process. And that is the first issue at hand, that they are in total violation of the law because they held no inquiry. They went to Linden. In the process, she already had a letter to deliver to say that they were removing the elected co-op, however long they were elected, and they are putting in place an interim management committee in violation of the law. That is the first point that needs to be noted. They are seeking to install a committee in total violation of the law. The second thing that needs to be noted is that on the committee that exists, there is a PPP operative there by the name of Courtney Handy. He served all the years with the co-op society. And now you come, you said you were going to move them because the place isn't being run properly. But you remove all the others except the one PPP person on the existing committee. That says to me, you are politically inspired and operating to achieve political ends. In the new committee, you put Courtney Handy, a man who there are a lot of allegations of involvement in corruption. I want people to understand the PPP is seeking to protect the corrupt people and in the process seek to change the management of the Linden Electricity Co-op Society. I want to ask the operator to put up some transformers that were purchased in an alleged corrupt way involving the said Courtney Handy. Put them up for me. If you see this transformer, see if you can find the one in which it has been cut. If you look there, you will see that this is not a new transformer. The facts surrounding this matter is that the Co-op Society was purchasing these transformers, and when the transformers arrived in Linden, it was found that these transformers belong to GPL, and the society took a decision to send them back because they had paid for new transformers. Now, PPP operatives in Georgetown and in the electricity co-op have been involved in this scandal. It is alleged that they were to purchase new transformers, and when the transformers arrived in Linden, it was clear that it was GPL transformers that were not gotten legally and sent to Linden. So the Electricity Co-op Society sent them back. It is evident to me that that is corruption. And it is alleged that key to this corrupt practice is the PPP activists in Linden and a PPP supplier in Georgetown. Now, if the PPP had any sense of decency, rather than to seek to remove the committee there, they would have investigated corruption, and they will find that there are serious allegations of corruption against the PPP operative, which is the only person they are seeking to keep on this committee. And so we will not be fooled. This is clearly a plot to remove the committee and give the PPP control of the Co-op Society through the back door. Mr. Jack Dale said or suggested I lied and told Linden people that they're going to take away the subsidy. Let me remind Barry Jack Dale what I said. I said this is the first act in the attempt to dominate and control, and that the first step is to take over the society, and we anticipate the next step will be to remove the subsidy. And I'm saying this based on the fact that Edgil bemoaned in the parliament the money spent on electricity in Linden, and the fact that the PPP is hell-bent on destroying Linden. And so we must not be confused. One, the PPP is seeking domination and control. Two, they are protecting the corrupt operatives, not only in the Co-op Society, but across the country. And we are going to ensure that it doesn't happen. Now, it should be obvious to all Guyanese that the PPP has no good intention with Linden. And so I want to make it very, very clear that we are going to stand up to the PPP and ensure they are taken on. The other thing that Barry Jack said that I must deal with is that I didn't have a crowd. Well, don't be stupid. It was a meeting of people at the Electricity Co-op Society. It was not a public meeting. There wasn't even a PA system. But I want to say this to you. The public meetings are coming. And I hope when they come, you do not send your police force to shoot them down again. We are going to confront you and we are going to deal with it. We are not going to allow you to take a co-op society that has a long history and by the stroke of a pen remove the leadership. It wouldn't happen. The battle has just begun. I thank you all, Guyanese. I hope you are clear. You have the facts. That one, they're installing a committee. Two, they did not follow the law. They had no inquiry. It was just an arbitrary letter. Three, at the center of corruption in the co-op society, it is alleged, is a PPP activist by the name of Courtney Handy, who was on the previous committee. You remove everybody and you're putting him back, which suggests it has nothing to do with the proper functioning of the society. It has to do with domination and control. And Lyndon, we will confront you. Thank you.
Yep, there we have it, folks. There we have it. There we have that statement from Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, uh, on what's happening there at Linden. And guys, I want you to share the live stream, smash that emoji button. You all know how we do it here. You all know how we do it. Don't start misbehaving, guys. That being said, I'm privileged to be joined by these wonderful people, beginning with the regional chairman out of Region 10, Mr. Darren Adams, member of parliament out of Region 10, Mr. German Figuera, and he's also the public accounts chairman for the Public Accounts Committee in the National Assembly, and also Amanzo Walton Desir. Not only is Amanda out of Region 10 as well, believe it or not, Amanda has served as the company secretary for GPL for some time. And more recently, she has served also as a director for the Power Producers and Distributors Inc. She was on the board of directors there, and that is a company rather that sells power to GPL. So all knowledgeable people on what's happening here and on this issue. Without any further ado, I want to invite my colleagues to rock and come in. Rock and come in. Folks, and let us know if you're hearing them where you are. Let us know if you're hearing them. Guys, welcome to our podcast today. Welcome to our podcast, Below the Belt.
Thank you, Sherrod. Good afternoon to you and your listeners.
Good afternoon, Sherrod. Thank you to you
Great.
and your listener.
That's our original chairman, Mr. Darren Adams. I think we have Chairman
Yes.
Figuera with us as
Good
well.
afternoon, Sherrod and colleagues and members of Below the Belt.
Yep.
Happy
Here
to be here.
we out here, folks. We out here, guys. Let us know if you're hearing our guests. Let us know if you're hearing our guests, so we can move ahead. And I wanna bring on German right away because German is very familiar with this issue. Tell us what is the role of, for instance, let's start here. What is the role of the Linden Utility Service Co-op Society? For those persons who might not know what this entity does.
Well, the primary function of the co-op society is to provide the Wisma Shore, Christianburg as well, with
Mhm,
electricity.
mhm,
Added to that, they also sell electrical appliances and basically do work for the people on the Wisma Shore that
mhm,
pertains to power and more so electricity. They serve the domestic as well as the commercial
mhm.
um, customers on the Wisma and Christianburg side of the Mackenzie, Denver River, rather.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah.
it's essentially it's an electricity co-op.
Yeah. And listening to Mr. Norton there, um, who would be surprised in what was said that this is a takeover? This is a takeover because if folks have been following us, following what we've been saying all along, we have been chronicling here what has been happening in Region 10. And we've had Darren on several times. We've had you, Mr. Chairman, on several times. We've had Amanzo on several times as well, talking about many issues, and in particular, what's happening in Region 10. As we circle back to this issue here, I want Darren to set the context for us. So it's not bizarre for people to think and to assume what is happening in Region 10. I mean, it was just a week ago Darren was on, and Mr. Chairman of Region 10, Regional Democratic Council, told us so many things. Let me just go through a couple of them. I ain't even going through the whole book that you know Deron wrote on this issue of what's happening in Region 10, the abuses of the PPP. As a matter of fact, one of the things Deron says is that there was a representation for a youth and sports officer in Region 10, either to be employed or to be seconded to the region. And that has been denied the region for more than 2 years. You've had a synthetic track that started under the coalition government. 2 years later, it is still incomplete. Why? Because it wasn't their project, right? You've had a list of contracts awarded over the past 2 years, 70% of which close friends and families of the PPP have been awarded. It hasn't gone mainstream to the people of Linden. Right? You have a drain in Silvertongue that collapsed because you bring somebody from no place who didn't understand what he was doing, mess up the whole thing, right? And you've had a series of this happening. Contracts that are not being executed in the proper and the correct way. And we could talk about a whole host of firings, which I'm certain the regional chairman is going to tell us about, that has happened in Linden since these people have come, the advent, since they come back. And then we saw recently what has happened to the Linden Utility Services Co-op. The whole board, for all intents and purposes, was fired. Mr. Chairman, talk to us. Mr. Chairman of Region 10, Darren Adams, talk to us about some of the infractions we've seen in Region 10 thus far by this administration.
Hi, good morning, Sarah. Good morning, colleagues. Well, over and over, time and time again, we have been repeating the message, the challenges that we are faced with here in the region since October 2020, where we phrased that coin that the government has been targeting this region strategically and intentionally. And you would have heard me spoke of one, the firing of the ambulance brigade staff who was serving an organization that has been around for over 50 years. So it started with the ambulance brigade staff, then it went to GWI staff, then it went to targeting nurses, targeting doctors. We had the president speaking of providing house lots for young professionals, and then 30 minutes after, doctors who are in the doctors' quarters were receiving letters to vacate the properties there. And then it came all the way down, the land board. Now, rather than coming to set up IMCs, we have been asking for the land board to be activated so that small farmers, small businesses can access funding and they can continue to build upon what they would have achieved from 2015 to 2020, where over 150 billion was pumped in by the then government. You have suspended that board, but your focus is on dismantling other boards. And so over the years, people need to understand that the people of Wisma and Christiansburg, and even today, they are united to meet their common economic needs and aspirations. And that will not be taken away from them. The elected officials will stand with them. This society, LUSCSL, is it's democratically owned by its members, and only the members must decide through, I dare say, their vote on who they want to manage the affairs of the co-op. It will be no other way. It should be no other way. We have seen how there has been a delay on the continuation of the synthetic track 2 years after the talent basket for this region. All we are seeing is the administration commissioning projects that were conceptualized and even completed under the coalition. So whether it's the Linden to Mabura, that is a coalition project. Whether it's the Magistrate Court of Kokwani, that is a coalition project. Whether it is the 24-hour electricity that Kokwani is now benefiting from, that is a coalition project. Nothing of substance has occurred within the past 2 years to the benefit of the people of this region, other than handouts and to friends and cronies. So 70% of the contracts, rather than it going to the people of Silvertongue, Retrieve, Amelia's Ward, and other places, and I'm speaking here about included small contracts to build yard huts, to build bridges. And that is why you saw a drain collapse in Silvertongue, because they brought a contractor from out of the region. The man doesn't know anything about what he's doing. And as soon as the drain was completed, millions of dollars, the drain collapsed. And so the people of Linden, I want it to be clear that we are not attacking the people of Linden in any way. We're making representation for you because we believe this is wrong, as the MP just outlined. We are attacking the process employed by the CCBO. We are attacking the legality of it. It was not done legally. In fact, they came into this region, did not meet with the leaders of the region, they did not notify the regional chairman, they did not notify the mayor. And so they have total disregard for the rule of law. And we cannot, in this day and age, be allow the administration of the day to convert this society. We cannot be a lawless society. Whatever is done, we believe it must be done within the confines of the law, and that due process of transparency must take place. I have reviewed the notes. I've been advised from persons who served on the committee, from sitting members, from even staff. I understand that the books have been audited, that they have written since last year or 2 years ago, asking for the CCDO to come and activate the process for the elections to activate via the members, of course. Rather than take the advice from the board, you have taken it upon yourself. You have held the recommendations and all the reports that were submitted, but you have taken a decision to not respond to them, to any of their letters, but the only letter you respond with is to dismantle that board. And this is unacceptable. And in so doing, you make it appear as though this new committee that you would have installed, or you attempted to install, because we're now recognizing it, is one that the people are aware of. There are members who they handpicked to go on the board who are not even turning up to the meetings right now because the people are not comfortable sitting with people like Courtney Andy there, who it is alleged would have stolen a GPL generator, a GPL transformer rather, and you just saw photos from the leader, and he was sent back with it. Now, how could you turn a blind eye to all of that, and then you retain this man for his services at the co-op? Something is wrong, and we will oppose it. As I said, it's not about the people who are there, because I know many of the persons who are, indeed, they are reputable people, Wanda Richmond and many others who I know. It is not about the people that they would have attempted, because we don't want them to put these people against us, that they would have attempted to put there as an interim. But it's about the process that they use. It's disrespectful, it's unacceptable, it's non-democratic, and some of the very people, who knows, when the elections are called through the right process, they might even be allowed to serve on the new board once a transparent process is utilized.
Yep. German, the regional chairman, has made his foray into specifically what's happening there, the Linden Utility Service Co-op Society. But expand for us on what transpired recently when one Debbie Passad out of the Ministry of Labor proceeded to have a meeting with Linden. The same day she had that meeting, she declared that the board can manage the co-op society. And the same day, she already got people to form a new board. So it's mind-boggling. The co-op society, had charges put before it. Ain't got no time to prepare to respond. All this is in 24 hours. All this happened. The squashing of one board, the installation, or the attempted, as Darren says, the attempted installation of another board. What are the PPP doing? And then the man said, I want you to come in and talk to us. If the PPP claim they love Linden so bad, based on what Darren alone has outlined, why does it hurt Lindeners so much if they love Linden so bad? German.
Definitely, Sharon, it was indeed astonishing. And it also puts the CCDO at a position where people condemn her as incompetent, because the law is very clear. The Cooperative Societies Act, Chapter 37 and 38, specifically outlines the process of how such an action could be implemented, of putting in an IMC. Now, she never conducted an investigation in this position of which she's functioning with the executives of the board of management. She never did, which the law prescribed for you to do. Conduct an investigation, provide the findings, allow the management to respond. None of these things would have been done. So we are flabbergasted that the law in itself is being breached, even by the minister himself, because this directive, I'm told, came directly from the minister. So it is an illegality. We would want to say to the Lindeners, who I believe came with the intent to honestly lend some support to bring this issue to some finality. are unaware of the backdrop to how this entire process ought to be. So they are also being asked to be entangled in an illegality, and they should recuse themselves from even lending their service to the co-op. But the co-op has a process of how their work's supposed to be conducted, and we are saying let the law take its course. In the very letter, Sharon, that this CCDO letter is assigned to, never give any indication of one, how long this interim body is to operate. Two, what are the objectives the interim body is set out to achieve within a specific time frame.
Mhm.
And more importantly, it has to state definitively that the interim body cannot make any policy decision, or should not rather, because it is the elected officials who have to make those decisions on behalf of the members who own the co-op. They have to determine what is it that they want going forward. But interestingly too, in the statements Jack Dio and the Prime Minister and the Dildo Minister put out
Mhm.
was cherry picked, because Mr. Norton also spoke to many other issues. The removal of the bridge, that the plan and everything was already put in place for a new bridge across the Wisma Mackenzie,
Yeah, yeah,
for a new
yeah,
bridge to
yeah.
be put in place.
Correct.
That was taken
Correct.
out. Mr. Norton also spoke about the government's non-action in trying to build agriculture within Region 10, because we would have seen a number of Region 10 farmers were discriminated when the farmers' grant were being distributed. None of such came to Region 10. The farmers' market day that we initiated in this country that you've seen is being copied all across Ghana by the PPP administration, of which they are lending significant support to those farmers' market. We're not seeing it here. We also spoke about the budget being cut in Region 10, cut in Region 4, cut in Region 7,
Yeah, yeah,
coalition stronghold
yeah,
communities. So this cherry pick notion, as if Mr. Norton was talking
yeah.
about the PPP, is totally, you see the ploy, and it is a ploy in which the attempt is to deceive the people of Linden. And as you always say, Sherrod, we big, but we stupid. And
Definitely.
we understand their strategy, and we are prepared to lend the support and give the fight that is required on behalf of our people.
Precisely, precisely. Amanzo, how come if the people love Linden so bad, it hurt it? You heard German outlay, lay out a number of issues. Deron lay out a number of issues. Since these boys come back, these change crapos and jagabats, since they come back, why does it hurt Linden so bad? This kind of love, quote unquote love.
Good afternoon again, Sheridan, colleagues and listeners. I think to understand the PPP's obsession with Linden, you have to understand the distinct advantage that the geographic location of Linden puts it and places it, particularly in the scheme of Guyana's future development. And so the PPP has always had it on its agenda to undermine Linden, one, because of its historical ties to the PNC, two, its geographic location,
Mhm.
three, because of its importance to Guyana's future. I keep saying that climate change is a reality. And so Linden will play an important role, Region 10 on the whole, will play an important role in the future development of Guyana. And so if you look at what is happening in Linden right now, there's a strategic move, one, to destabilize the Linden society, and two, clandestinely change the demographics of Linden.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm concerned that this is something that we're not talking enough about, because Lindeners are having a difficult time getting land in Linden. But It is not the same for non-Lindeners and particularly supporters of the PPPC. And so Lindeners have to understand and wake up and realize that the PPP is playing the long game. As it relates to this issue of electricity provision and tariffs, the PPP is aware that this is a vexed question with Lindeners. Lindeners have not forgotten that the lives of 3 Lindeners were lost when they protested the PPP's attempts to impose electricity tariffs in Linden. And so the people have not forgotten. And so for a government to be so insensitive as to proceed with in this bull in a china shop manner with such a sensitive issue to Lindeners clearly should demonstrate to Lindeners that there is no love lost, that this is simply about political expediency and achieving the aims of the PPPC administration. Sherrod, the issue of imposing an IMC has always been the modus operandi of the PPP. They did it with all of the local government organs, imposed IMCs instead of calling local government elections. And they have done it now, or attempting to do it now, with the utility corporation there in Linden. And Lindeners must not allow it. The law is very, very clear. There has to be a process that is followed before such a decision is made. And the leader of the PNC is absolutely right. There is no evidence that this procedure was followed, as well as you have the fact of them retaining someone against whom there is evidence of corrupt dealings in the same utility. And so I'm calling on the people of Linden not to be fooled or to be duped into this ruse by the PPP in terms of thinking that, you know, they are for the development of this cooperative. They are not. They certainly are not. And the best indicator of future conduct is past behavior. And just like how they attempted to impose and to remove the subsidy from Linden in the past, this is the first step. And so the leader of the PNC is absolutely right. This is the first step in that process. And Lindeners must not allow it, and we must refuse to be hoodwinked and to be dominated in this manner.
Yep.
Sherrod, what is also
Go ahead.
important? What is also important too is that in their haste to respond to a fabricated lie they of themselves created, they would have committed to the position of Linden people that we will not accept any increase in electrical charges. So we had Jack Vio run out and say, we're not raising electricity charges in Linden. We had the Prime Minister did the same, but that has always been our fundamental position. So they now have publicly stated Linden people's position that we will not accept any increase in electrical charges, and we will hold them to that.
Correct.
So
That's right.
when you like lie, sometimes truth end up coming out.
Precisely. You know, and as we discuss what's been happening here with the Linden Utility Service Co-op Society, you know, I heard Darren outlined a number of things, which really and truly, when you study what's been happening there in Region 10, don't even go to the heart of what's been happening in that region. For instance, we haven't talked yet about what's been happening at Hururu, right? We have been talking there and them wanting to get the Tushao out because of the mismanagement on the PPP Tushao there, but the PPP trying to buy them out, the villagers there, to be quiet about what's happening, right? We didn't talk about that. And then there's that other place, Wiki Kalkuni, right? Madness happening there too. There on and we didn't talk about the St. John's Ambulance Brigade and the employees that were fired there, the Data Management Authority in Linden, the National Data Management Authority, and the employees of the PPP fired. Did Mr. Lawton lie about that? You know, Deron did mention the Linden Enterprise Network, and the firings that took place there. You know, the bad treatment currently that obtains there for the staff who haven't been paid for months. Did Mr. Norton lie about that? Right? The cuts of the various contractors who have served faithfully Linden Hospital Complex for years, right? And what's happened there for people like the Forester Security Service, Double Team Taxi Service, all because you look a certain way and people think this is how you vote. The nursing program at Linden, right? They want boast that they put some call center and employ a couple people, and the woes when you talk to the staff there, the Linden call center. My God, you see what happened with the nurses in general in Linden. Are we lying about that? Look, what a lot of stuff happening in the region. But look, by the same token, German, Deron, and Manza, what's happened, for instance, in Region 7? Right? Those people legitimately vote out some staunch PPP supporters. And the same woman, Debbie Prasad, on behalf of the PP government and Minister Joe Hamilton, went there and dismissed the whole duly elected democratically elected members of the Bartica Boat Association, all because their people are no longer in charge. They have done what they have done with the Linden Utility Service Corp because they don't have control of it. But folks, what is really at stake here? When you look and you see what's happening, and a lot of movements with the PP of recent, a lot of movement. What's really happening here, guys? What's really happening here? Deron, let's start with you. I'll take German after that, and then Amansa could follow.
Well, you've heard me speaking over and over about happening in region 10, and you mentioned those Amerindian communities where they were not allowed democratic process. Many of those communities, you had persons who disguised, went in, manipulated the process, and that is why you're seeing what is happening at Hururu and Wiki Kalkuni, and even at Rivers View, because it's not a true reflection or representation of a reflection of the will of the people. They would have went into those communities, and the actual persons who the community wanted to elect were bypassed. And I'll give you one example. At Wiruni, the gentleman called me, said, you know, he has over 100 and something signatures of people who wanted to support him. What they did, they trumped up a charge saying that he was charged sometime in the past, and once you have and once a charge was laid against you, you can't run in the election. And I have to advise the
hold on. Daryl, just hold on over me. So you telling me at the local level, at a community, a village council level, somebody who's been charged can run for Tushau, but you tell me a man who is convicted of assault could be a member of parliament. That's what you're telling me. So all right, Daryl, go ahead.
So luckily, the guy went, he got his police clearance, and today the guy is the Tushau for the community because the people wanted him. There are now steps, what they're doing in terms of CDCs, Community Development Councils. They're giving the communities 24-hour notices, run in, form a CDC, put their people in, and run out back. And so many of the communities are now rejecting this move and saying to them, plain, no, if you're coming to hold a CDC, which the administration has to be a part of, you must give at least a week or 2 weeks notice. You would have heard me speak of, and I want to hit directly on job creation. Under the coalition, job creation was at its peak. We saw how under the health ministry, the patient care assistant program, that was created by Valda Lawrence and her team. And we employed over 60 young women who were employed at the Linden Hospital Complex. I think another 100 was employed in Berbice. And those persons were able to take care of their families after they would have conducted a training. You have heard me speak of LEN and how they have discriminated against persons here in Linden, not setting up the board, but you're finding $250,000 to pay out to sugar workers. The Board of Industrial Trade coordinated a lot of the training here in the region for BIT through the office of the then First Lady Sandra Granger. We trained 100 plus young people, and that is why in my speech, and we had a plan of transition for them. So from training, you went into the National Data Management Agency where you are employed. When you do the maths, it was close to 196 million over a 5-year period being injected into the region. You have dismantled that. And then you come now in 2022, and that's why I said in my speech that exactly this I pointed out exactly where the current system of governance is failing our people.
Yeah.
Many Londoners have been put on the breadline recently with their jobs taken away and nothing provided as an alternative. And then I said, I shudder to think of what we intend to do with these 184 that you just trained in cake decorating and machine operating and wherever else. What will you do with them? We don't want temporary jobs in this region. We want permanent jobs. We don't want a handout of temporary jobs, right? Because these people that you're training, what are the temporary jobs? What will they be able to do with them after a 2 weeks period or 3 weeks period? No, we want to be able to ensure that our people can have uh, jobs that they know that they will be able to take, sustainable jobs, that they'll be able to take care of their families and make an impact in their communities. There are many other instances, Sherrod. You would have seen how we taught through the Bertram Collins College. I made mention of this.
Yeah,
Many of
you
the
did.
people who participated in that program are working at the RDC. They're working in various organizations. And that was dismantled. So what job creation are you talking about exactly? Nothing has happened in this region to the benefit of our people. The contracts that are giving out are to close friends and people outside of the region. 70+% of the contracts. In fact, at one point there was a contractor that came to do repairs on the regional chairman's office, and I asked, "Where are you from?" And I said, "No, you're not going to work in this office. Sorry, right? Anyone who's going to be working in this office must be a Londoner."
Linden
And
local
I told him,
content
"I don't
policy.
want," right? But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot happening. I haven't even touched the hidden agenda behind the political board, the board of gardens that is
Yeah.
expecting single parents from Victory Valley. All 8 members of the board were installed by Victor Prasad. All 8 members, one ethnicity. They're all Indo-Guyanese. They came with a plan while we increased the numbers of persons to benefit on public assistance, because we understand the challenges. They have been dismantling that operation, putting in people who are affiliated to them, and the genuine persons who need it, like a man whose arms were severed, who another 12-year-old whose parents abandoned her, a Muslim woman who has about 7 children was taken off the program, and a woman who suffered from a stroke, and she was told to go to the Linden Mayor and Town Council for a loan. These are the issues that I wanted them to raise at the Wituko complex when they came up here. But unfortunately, they skirted around all of those and again came with a failed promise of providing temporary jobs, not permanent, temporary jobs.
Yep. German, what's really at stake here? All that we're seeing, what's at stake here? What's happening?
Well, one, two, I want to address the issue with the indigenous communities. You see, under the coalition, we would have shown respect to our indigenous brothers and sisters and show them true empowerment. So the people aren't stupid, and they will accept, I believe, all of the handouts, and rightfully so, because those handouts are purchased with taxpayers' money. And when it comes to an election with a clean voters list, I believe they will vote with the coalition. Secondly, the PPP administration doesn't really care for this community. And I am persuaded that the people of Linden and Region 10 are very much aware of that. Imagine they closed the nursing school, and their argument was too much Londoners are attending the nursing school. The Londoners aren't being trained as nurses for Linden, they're being trained as nurses for Guyana.
Correct. Is right.
And under public pressure, they reopened the school. And what they put in their caveat as it to be open, they inviting students in region 7, 8, and 9, and not even making mention of students from region 10. They are exhibiting a tokenism project in which they are seeking out so-called influences in the respective communities giving them some money so that they could go and say, you see the PPP giving we money, as if that is going to be a motivating factors to be a pull factor of Londoners to go and lend support to them. Londoners aren't foolish people. They would have bashed the coalition government for setting up a drug bond just as a house. They have done that same, not even same, what they would have done in Region 10 is that they would have given one of their activists, PPP individual in this community, a contractor, a notorious contractor, I must add, who was debarred and now he's getting a plethora of contract. They would have set up a drug bond under his bottom house where he gets over $1 million every single month. That is what the PPP is doing. Darren would have mentioned about the 70% of contractors coming out of the region getting contract. The resources to Region 10 should benefit the people of Region 10. And we are not the beneficiaries of the budgetary allocation for Region 10. Amanza raised another interesting point with house lots. A lot of people in this community want house lots and they want it legally. But they are waiting and they're waiting, and some areas where some persons have begun to squat, the government comes in and say, no, squatting is legal, you can't squat. But yet you're seeing people from out of the region coming in and squat. So my encouragement boldly is to tell the people, go and do the same thing. This is your country, this is your community, here is where you live. And no outsider should have be given first preference from you who are here and want a piece of house, like to build a house. A lot of hampers they're given to their supporters. But these hampers are purchased with taxpayers' money. So they're being very discriminatory, even though the times are exceedingly hard, Sherrod. Cost of living is exceedingly hard. This community has contributed significantly to the development of sport, to putting Guyana on the map for sports. And we would have recognized that as a coalition government and then started to invest in the setting up of synthetic track. Almost 3 years since this administration has taken office, no work has been done towards the development of that synthetic track so that we can unearth the best of athletes to represent Guyana. So this government totally has no interest, and more so interest about the people of this country. And we want our residents, our citizens of this community to be cognizant of that. And we are persuaded that they are. They will not be fooled. No matter how much money they throw at them, we will take it because it is our money. But we know what we have to do when we are provided with a clean voters list, because that's the only way we believe we will be going to an election, where there's a clean voters list, and we go to the polls and we will defeat the PPP resoundingly.
Great, great. Thanks for that intervention, Jermaine. Amanza, talk to us. Talk to us.
You know, Sherrod and colleagues, this when you think about the PPPC and their approach, I often remind that Guyana is a multi-ethnic, multicultural society. And history the world over has shown that when it comes to governance of such a society, a government adopts either one of two approaches. The first one is an inclusionary approach where consultation and communication are valued. The other approach is an approach of domination and control. And what you are seeing is that the PPPC administration has chosen the path of domination and control. And so that is what permeates every action that they take, whether it's for the Speedboat Association of Bartica, whether it is as it relates to the local government elections and the local government organs, whether it is as it relates to the Linden utilities. It is what pervades them. And so we have to settle in our minds once and for all that the PPPC is bent on domination and control. Once we accept that, then the course of action becomes very clear. And that is that this cannot be condoned. One of the issues that the regional chairman touched on, and that concerns me. He mentioned agriculture, and I want to give an example of how the PPPC operates. Now, we know that there was a massive flood, and we know that there was rampant discrimination in the distribution of relief and of financial relief to farmers affected by those floods. So farmers in Region 10, for example, got a mere pittance when compared to the fact that farmers in traditional PPP strongholds got, some significant sums. Some of them have not even planted one day in their lives, but they had money. They were given money. You fast forward to a few months, a year after, and the government has now begun this big push on agriculture. But they're doing it because through the mechanism of the flood relief, they were able to get capital into the hands of their people. And so their people are the ones now with the money to invest and with the capital to be a part of this big agricultural push. So the PPPC does nothing by chance or without calculation. They're a calculating bunch of people, and they rely heavily on the fact that too often we are duped by, show and photo ops and pageantry. And this is why I always encourage our people to be critical of whatever government there is in existence, even if it is our government, and to critically assess and analyze issues, because you will realize that what appears to be on the surface is not what it is. And so for me, we are coming to a serious crossroads where I believe the PPPC is continuing to push Guyanese to a point where they will decide that they're not taking it anymore and anarchy and chaos will prevail. Because that is the situation in which the PPPC is at its best. They like chaos, they like confusion, they like riots, and they thrive on governing in that type of environment. And so we are facing a situation of rapid decline. There appears to be no interest in a consultative approach to governing. There appears to be no interest in following through on Article 13 that calls for an inclusionary democracy. And so sooner rather than later, the people of Guyana are going to have to stand up and demand that this government do better or remove them. When the elections come, and as Jeremy said, a new voters list is a non-negotiable. Remove them so that we can return this country to proper governance, to good governance. We can agree, and I think it is clear to all and sundry with an open mind, that whilst, yes, there were mistakes made during the 5 years of the coalition, that Guyana was in a substantially better place. Both as it relates to our national pride and as it relates to the building up of our institutions. What you are seeing here is a tearing down of our institutions, of our democratic institutions, of our constitutional bodies. And so it doesn't harbor well for the future. And so we, the people of Guyana, must insist on change, and we must begin by demanding more at our local government level and at the national level.
Excellent, excellent. German Figuera, Member of Parliament out of Region 10, Amanzo Walton Desir, Member of Parliament, also hails from that region, has her neighbor Stringberry there, and the regional chairman, the man on the ground every day, making things happen in Region 10, Linden. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining our podcast today and bringing so much insight to the PPP abuses in Region 10 and what's been happening there at the Linden Utility Services Co-op Society. I want to thank each and every one of you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you for having us, Sharon. Have a great rest of Sunday.
You guys as well. You guys as well. Folks, that's our time. That's our program today. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. You know we couldn't do these programs without you. It's about you, the people. It's not about we. It's about Deborah Clark and Warnella Garnett and Samuel Mingo. It's about you, Patricia Blotchway and Vanessa Hackett and Christy Burrows. It's about you guys. We do this because you guys, we have a passion for bringing news, information, infotainment, you name it, to you guys, so you can make the sound decisions that you need to make. We're so happy you guys make these programs out there because you show up every goddamn day. We have a program. You share the live stream and you smash the emoji button as well so that others can get valid and incredible information. You guys are the real MVPs, and we got to go forward stronger and united. Tamika Webster and Patricia Barch, Amanda Daniels, you as well, and Chin Sung Henry and Leonard Jacobs. Folks, you guys matter to us, and we are so happy. We are so happy. Patricia Botchway, that you guys are here. Calvin Bravo, you made a difference in our program. You make a difference. Amabel Clement makes a difference. She contributes, folks, in a significant way to our program, guys. And we're happy that each and every one of you, in your own way, to contribute to our program. Jamaica Webster, Amanda Daniels, Chisel Chipper, all of you guys, Samoa Williams, Marilyn King, folks, Wilma Grant, share the damn live stream, smash the emoji button for us so that others get valid, incredible information. We ain't talking to the jagabats and the trench crappers. We are talking to valid viewers and who have posted credible comments. And that's our time for today, folks. And we cannot do this program without those who partner with us. Folks, find a way. You don't got to send $1,000,000. I mean, if you got it for send it. You can help you do things faster, right? But help us, partner with us, so that we can move these programs forward. We can even have programs. It takes something out of us to keep doing this day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. We have the passion, but that passion got to meet something else to make it happen, folks. Come on board and partner with us. We are available via Cash App, via Zelle, via PayPal, MMG. We're available via MoneyGram, via Western Union, folks. You want to know how? You want to know more about these platforms you can partner with us with? WhatsApp us. Our WhatsApp numbers are MMG number 627-6963. 627-6963. That's our time. That's our program. Hundreds of you are watching us from around the world. And you guys, again, because you show up, enable us to say we have an international podcast because you show up from so many places around the world. Pace and power. Puts on the ground. Wayne Bacchanal. Alia Walton, we see you. Kim Walker. We see you. Sandrine Baird. We see you. Amanda Daniels. We see you guys. Pace and power. Share the damn live stream. Share the damn live stream, folks, and let's have a go at it. Pick up the pace. We got to pick up the pace in 2022, Pace and power. But some of us got to pick up the pace. Go after those dreams and aspirations vigorously, folks. Pursue them with all your might. Go after them, your goals, folks. Go after them. Yep. Go after them with all the clarity. Go after them. Pace and power, folks. Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. Boots on the ground. Pick up the pace. Boots on the ground. Pick up the pace. Boots on the ground. We am backing down. Pick up the pace. Pace and power, people. That's our time. That's our program. Auntie Sandra Hanover, I see you there. Debbie Apple, I see you there. You all see this part. Things are working. I got a little fallback. With my grand. Respect and manners, Auntie Sandra. Respect and manners, Auntie Sandra Hanover. Shout out each and every one of you, folks. Share the damn live stream. Smash the emoji button. Partner with us. And let me move forward. That's our time. That's our problem. Take care, guys. Take care. Have the rest of the Sunday for yourselves. Get in touch with family. Get in touch with friends. Be easy, folks. Take it easy on this Sunday and be gentle with yourselves. That being said, that's our time.